business, don't get him mad. They hit him like 20 times. These fuck niggas patched up. When young niggas acting up, these whole niggas tear him up.
Dude, you know what we should do?
What?
We should write a hit song.
Dude, we should totally write a hit song.
Yeah, we should! Okay, check it out.
I guess we're not good enough to write a hit song.
Yeah. But I bet we're good enough to come up with an awesome ringtone.
Dude, we're totally good enough to come up with an awesome ringtone.
Yeah, we are! Ringtone, pick up your phone.
Ringtone, pick up your phone.
Here's Rose to the bucket, driving hard. Lopez on a switch, handling Anthony. This is Rose, very active here early on. He's 3 of 4 from the field. He checks the clock. Down to 5. Played by Rondo. Puts the move on. Takes to the bucket. Yes! And the foul. Another beautiful move. Here's Rose to the bucket, driving hard.
And those are the
This is Jennings. Shot clock down to 10. 20 seconds left in the game. Anthony guarded by Kid Gilchrist. Drives by him. Step back jumper. And that's good! And a foul is called after the basket. It could be against Charlotte. 13 seconds left. Somebody committed a foul after the ball went in, I believe.
BlackPressRadio.com, DC Live with Stephen A. Smith is back in the Garden. Does that mean they're good again?
No. It means that I'm doing my job, showing up to see how good or bad they are.
Okay, what do you think about Porzingis?
I think he's a future star in this league.
Is Melo enough? Is the coach enough? And what's
Melo's not
wrong?
enough. Him and Porzingis is not enough. They need a bench. It's not the coaching. It's not the talent in the starting lineup. It's the fact that they have no bench and that Phil Jackson hasn't given them a bench. That's the problem with this team.
Thanks so much, Stephen.
The offensive threat that he's been throughout the course of his career and continuing to handle himself like a pro.
He's guarding Love right now. Ball stripped and taken away. In fact, since the word came out, although Anthony, who's had a right shoulder bother him on occasion, kind of flexing that right arm as he comes up the floor. Jennings knocks down a three. I was going to say, though, Anthony, since that whole story about the trade rumor came out.
Trying to deny Anthony the ball here. They've got the switch. Melo scored against Hardaway earlier. He takes him in. He steps back. He shoots. He hits it. And we're tied at 6.9. Timeout Atlanta. They got that switch. And he burns his former teammate again. And now Melo has 38. This is much more to the Knicks' liking. Anthony. Bump on Hardaway. It's an
Carmelo is in a groove.
first foul on Tim Hardaway and Melo.
So we got a lot to get to, but let's first play a little Is This News, because we had some NBA headlines popping up today. Trey's rounded them up. He's going to pitch them to us, and we'll determine whether or not they're actually news. So Trey, our first headline.
All right, our first headline comes from ESPN, and it says, Cavs not interested in Kevin Love for Carmelo Anthony swap, sources say. Is this news?
I knew LeBron James was looking for a ball handler, but not that type of ball handler. No. Carmelo wouldn't fit with the Cleveland Cavaliers in the way they move the ball. Championship teams are about how parts fit in, and Kevin Love fits in better than Carmelo Anthony, in my opinion. Kevin Love has got incrementally better. Season 1, Season 2, Season 3 with the Cavs. This is the best version we're seeing of him. Would Carmelo Anthony dance with Steph Curry on the perimeter with the game on the line and defend him? I don't know. Maybe he could get to that level, but at this point, Kevin Love is a better option, in my opinion. And I don't think LeBron wants to wait to see if Carmelo could become that guy. He doesn't have that kind of time. He wants to win now.
What do you think?
Yeah, this doesn't sort of fit what LeBron was saying there before. But I think if Phil Jackson went to Carmelo when they had that chat and Carmelo probably said, listen, if you can get me to a contender, then I will consider waiving my no-trade clause. Cleveland's obviously fits that bill, but the trade itself just doesn't make sense. Even if Kevin Love was to go back to New York, him and Porzingis, I don't think would really fit what they're trying to grow there. And if you're Carmelo Anthony, you want to get out of New York, maybe he's not saying that on the public, but if he has a chance to go and perhaps win, then I think that's the only way the Knicks get him to waive the no-trade clause.
Let's also point out, I mean, Love is, 5 years younger than Carmelo Anthony? 4 years younger than Carmelo Anthony, maybe closer to 5, maybe, but a few $1 million less expensive when it comes to their contracts as well. And you said it, Tass, I think this would be an interesting headline and news last year before the Cavs went on to win the title. Maybe when they were struggling, and we sat here and talked about the Cavs struggling at that point earlier in the season last year. Then it would have been a little interesting, but it doesn't make much sense now. I know the Cavs are struggling to win games, but the same thing happened last year, and they went on to win the title. So, yeah, it doesn't make sense for the Cavs to make this move. It makes sense for the Knicks to want to try and trade Melo, and for maybe Melo to get out of there and get to a contender. But that's the problem with this whole thing. We have 3 parties that need to be pleased, right? The Knicks and whatever they get back for Melo. Melo to whatever team he actually wants to go to and try and win a title. And then, the team you're trying to trade him to in the first place. It's not just like 1 or 2 teams got to be happy. Melo sort of clouds this whole thing because now there's a limited amount of teams. I don't think it's going to happen.
And just his contract as well. That's the thing. I mean, if you're trading him, you've got to get someone who's matching his salary pretty much close, which means you're going to have to give up one of your best players. So in theory, it makes sense with Kevin Love. But then again, if you're LeBron, you don't want to break up that championship core. He trusts and believes in those guys. He needs a spare part. He doesn't need a big roster-altering move right now.
Yeah, championship teams take time to build. Yeah. We've seen it. Yeah, you're right. Kevin Love was part of rumors last year, but that was year 2 of the experiment. Do they think that Carmelo's just going to come in? It's a turnkey. We're winning with a guy who has to handle the ball. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. You're right, though. The Knicks talking about trading Carmelo Anthony, that's a positive for them. I mean, legitimately, if this is a legitimate rubric, I think it is a positive for them. A team that's not winning right now wants to get better for the future, and that is likely their best part. That's going to, well, that would warrant the most in return, other than Kristaps Porzingis, and that guy's not going anywhere.
D-League in recent weeks, but Rose missed the Knick game on Monday against the Pelicans. Anthony with a second field goal. Did not tell the team, did not.
Anthony backs in, turns, puts it up, puts it in with 3 seconds remaining. Timeout, Charlotte. Bedlam here in Madison Square Garden.
And this offensive extravaganza continues. Both teams, they're not asking in a quarter,